Hello and welcome to SatTV Week, the news programme for the global satellite industry. I'm Richard Hooper. This week we have news of the successful launch of Turksat 4A, Norsat secures a 3-year standing offer, and ASC Signal Corporation is awarded a contract from Kuwait-based Al Rashid Holdings. But first, Nanoracks has announced the successful deployment of the first 2 CubeSats from the International Space Station that will be the largest CubeSat deployment in history. The first 2 CubeSats are part of a constellation of 28 satellites for its customer, Planet Labs. Demand for CubeSats has intensified as customers look to develop space programs using small satellites about the size of a loaf of bread. Nanoracks is responding to demand from government, military and commercial clients for routine access to space from small satellites. The Nanoracks CubeSat deployment system appeals to the needs of their clients by providing regularly scheduled launches into space and the ability to deploy a constellation of small satellites that can cover the Earth. This new system allows deployment of up to 96 satellites at a time. ASC Signal Corporation has been awarded a contract from Kuwait-based Al Rashid Holdings to provide gateway satellite antennas and equipment for the State of Kuwait's Ministry of Information, to be used for the distribution of television and radio content throughout the Middle East and Africa. Under the contract, ASC Signal will provide transmit and receive Earth stations to access both Norsat and Arabsat satellites. The fully redundant KU and DBS band 5.6 metre antennas include interchangeable feed systems that allow the Ministry of Information to use the same antenna at different frequency bands as required for programme delivery. Installation of the ASC Signal antennas will equip the Ministry of Information to deliver content from its own facilities in Kuwait City. Now here is Tricia with news of the successful launch of Turksat 4A.
Thanks, Richard. Yes, Mitsubishi Electric Corporation has successfully launched the Turksat 4A satellite under a turnkey contract awarded by Turksat Satellite Communication, Cable TV and Operation in March 2011. Turksat 4A was launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan on February the 15th. Turksat 4A will use its own power for positioning in geostationary orbit about 36,000 kilometres above the equator. Mitsubishi Electric will continue conducting in-orbit testing until the middle of March before its final handover to Turksat. In addition to Turksat 4A, Mitsubishi Electric will further its contribution to Turkey's communications and broadcasting infrastructure with the additional launch of Turksat 4B this year, as well as other satellite programmes planned in the future.
Thanks Tricia. Now Norsat International has announced through its Sinclair Technologies division it has recently entered into a 3-year national individual standing offer with Public Works and Government Services Canada for the supply of UHF VHF antennas. Dr. Amy Chan told SatTV Norsat is pleased to have been selected once again to provide a variety of our antenna products to agencies of the Government of Canada. Entrusted to enable the critical communications within Canada's extreme weather conditions and terrain is especially rewarding, and we are proud our products met their stringent design, performance and value criteria. In other news, ND Satcom is running a free webinar on the SkyWAN 5G on the 4th of March. Satellite service providers are facing ever-increasing demands from the end customers, be it lower OPEX or CAPEX costs, reliability, expectations or efficiency in logistics. To win the customer's trust, service providers must be able to differentiate their service offerings from their competitors. See how you can get ahead of the competition by capitalising on SkyWAN 5G's FRAPS model. Contact ND Satcom now to register your interest. And finally, here is Tricia with news of Eutelsat 3B.
The spacecraft for the Eutelsat 3B mission contracted to sea launch was delivered on February the 19th to the Homeport Launch Complex in Long Beach, California. Following unloading, the satellite was delivered to the clean room area of the 16-acre payload processing facility, where mission operations and integration efforts are now underway. After standalone spacecraft operations are completed, Eutelsat 3B will be handed over to Sea Launch's prime contractor, Energia Logistics, to be mated with the payload support structure and integrated with the Zenit 3SL launch vehicle before departure to the launch site in early April. The launch of the Eutelsat 3B satellite is scheduled for mid-April.